Blow the whistle. All right, welcome. We got the Final Four coming up, and I want to lead with a story, and it's not about the Final Four, but if this happened as it led into the Final Four, what would you do? So a guy in D.C. said he won $1 million in Powerball because in a dream, it was told to him what numbers to pick. So this is from UPI.com. The winner, identified as Tommy M., told the D.C. lottery officials he had been going through a rough patch. He went and bought his ticket. He had lost his mom and dog in a short period of time, but he said, I had a dream. It said, you're going to be a millionaire. Gave him the numbers. He said he'd been visiting the same store to buy his tickets for decades. He said he plans to use some of his winnings to take a vacation and save the rest for retirement. So congratulations here. But let's say you have a dream tonight, Eddie.
This is so stupid.
And the dream,
it's a different situation, but go ahead.
The dream, it's so vivid. Like you wake up and you're like, oh my God. And I think Florida's -2.5 versus Auburn. And it's like, take Auburn +2.5.
And the dream is just
it's
telling
so
me.
vivid. And it's like, don't do $1 or $5 if you specifically, because it's specific about money too. Because you could hedge it and be like, well, I would just do $5. No. It's you in your dream.
Bet the farm?
Not even the farm, but let's say more than you're comfortable with, but it's like, bet $1,000.
Ooh,
like
definitely not comfortable with that.
Like you have to bet $1,000.
Yeah.
Eddie.
So this is like Field of Dreams.
Big time. It's so vivid in your dream though. And it says Auburn +2.5. You have to do it.
Bet Auburn.
You wake up and it does feel weird because it was so real. What do you do?
I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. I don't have dreams like that. Like my dreams are all kind of like, that's weird. Like that would never happen. But if a dream was just like, Eddie.
And if not just like goofy, but it really was
real.
Or if it was you talking to you.
Yes. Saying, hey, sit down. I need to tell you this is dead serious. Go bet this $1,000. I think I would do it. And dude, trust me, that is something I would never, ever do in my life. But if I dreamt it and it was vivid and I was telling myself in it, I'd have to do it.
Kevin, what would you do?
I'd sit long and hard on it, and
if you sit too long, the spread changes and you don't win anymore because it definitely said Auburn +2.5.
And then part of me wants to go the other way because I'm like, if you're dreaming and that's going to be that good, then it's probably going to go the other way.
Oh, if you're doubting your dream?
Yeah.
But you're going to spend all... The dream specifically says if you don't do $1,000 and do this specific bet, you lose.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
I wouldn't do it.
Because it's got to be an uncomfortable amount of money.
Yeah.
Otherwise...
$100? Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
$1,000? Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Woo.
Because like in Field of Dreams, the movie, like the wife's very understanding. She's like, you know what? If you really believe that you need to build a baseball field out there, do it. And I think my wife would do the same. If you had this dream and you told yourself in it, do it.
Was that a dream he was having?
That was a voice. You heard the voice.
Yeah, so not...
He will come.
Yeah, not really a dream, a sleep dream, though. I'm
Yeah.
talking about sleep dream.
I know.
Yeah. I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it at all?
No, I would just think that I was thinking about it so much before I went to sleep.
Oh.
And then I wouldn't do it.
You don't believe, man.
You're right.
You got to believe in like signs and dreams.
Yeah,
and,
right? Like Paul McCartney wrote Yesterday and Let It Be in his dream, right? It was a very
Listen
vivid
to
memory.
Casey.
And then he wrote like the 2 greatest songs ever.
I would say that crap too. I would just say it. I'd make it up. I'd be like, yeah, I came to me in a dream.
Oh, you think they made that up?
I think maybe he had a melody in his dream or something, and maybe not this specific story, but I think sometimes, well, no, I know for a fact some artists will embellish a story like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I wrote it in my dream, when really they woke up, had a concept, wrote a couple notes down, then woke up the next day and they elaborated on. But it makes a great story.
Do you ever do that with like prep, like for podcasts or anything? You wake up in the middle of the night, like, I got this idea, write it down, and then wake up
Yes.
late. Okay.
Mostly, not so much with show stuff, but mostly with like, especially if I'm doing a bunch of jokes like comedy or we're in the middle of writing songs, but they're never good. And I can't ever remember. It's like my handwriting when I can't read what I wrote. It almost feels like that. Because if I wake up and write something down, I'm like, man, I don't even know what I'm trying to do here. Or at one point I would like sing a song into it half asleep. It just sounds like I was like...
You're like, this is trash.
Yeah, it's all garbage. So yes, have I done it? Yes. Has it ever been good? No.
But you've never had like a dream where it's like, you got to talk about this tomorrow.
No.
Okay.
I don't dream much, but I don't dream much.
Is that because you don't sleep well?
Yeah.
And so you never
Got to
get
get to that place.
Yeah.
I just wondered if that dream would affect you and if you'd spend the money and you
I would do it.
Yeah. I do have a list of the highest paid players in the NFL at each position. I'll give you the position. You tell me.
Oh, boy.
per year now. This is per year, not
Yeah.
total contract, so per year.
Oh,
Quarterback.
I mean, is that Dak?
Anybody?
Anybody can guess.
I'm gonna go 60 mil.
Yeah, it's got to be.
But are you going Dak, though, is the question.
I think it's
I'm
Dak.
not looking
Dak.
for the number. I'm
Yeah,
looking
yeah,
for
you're
the
looking
player.
for the person,
Yeah,
right?
I'm looking for the
Yeah,
player.
Dak.
I
Okay.
think it's Dak.
Everybody's in on Dak.
Yeah.
Dakota.
The highest paid quarterback at $60 million is Dak Prescott.
Right.
So stupid.
Did you see where the Cowboys just traded for a quarterback?
Yeah.
Joe Milton.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They don't have a
Cavs
backup.
boy.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't have Cooper Rush anymore.
He went to Baltimore.
Yeah,
Which, by the way, sucks for you guys because Cooper Rush bailed you guys out so many times.
he did.
many times.
He did, but we also don't know how Trey Lance is. Trey Lance still there?
You do kind of know how Trey Lance did. He played terrible in preseason, and he played again to keep Cooper Rush from getting hit in his bonus.
Yeah. And then
Remember
if
that?
you trade for a Joe Milton, then you know how bad Trey Lance is.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm surprised, one, that Rush hasn't really got a look as a real starter anywhere. And I understand he probably has limited arm speed, all the physical things, but dude wins.
He does. He wins
does.
games.
He wins a
man.
lot of games. And then with Joe Milton, they were talking about him going and actually playing somewhere.
Yeah.
That he was, and you know, you're a Patriots fan, so he was practicing so well. Obviously, he has a cannon, one of the biggest arms in the NFL, period, that he could have gone to like,
New Orleans.
yeah, there were a couple of them, New Orleans or the Raiders,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like looking at him to possibly go and be a starter.
Yeah.
But
I would have liked that because it would have got better draft for us. But
oh yeah, Joe Milton got traded to the Cowboys. There you go.
Okay.
Wide receiver
Jamar Chase.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Jamar Chase now.
now.
No. Yeah.
It was Justin Jefferson.
It was. Yep. Jamar Chase just wins that one. Justin Jefferson was at $35 million, but Chase just over that.
Gosh.
Crazy.
The difference though on a wide receiver and a quarterback, though, almost double
Yeah.
per
right.
year. Defensive end.
Miles Garrett.
Yep.
Mm.
At $40 million.
Wow. Good job.
The Browns took all their money and said, Miles Garrett.
This is it.
Miles Garrett. Miles
After he
Garrett.
said he
Miles
wanted
Garrett.
out.
Oh,
The Cleveland Miles Garretts.
Clarence Carter. All right, next up. Well, it's because they're going to draft a quarterback, and that's a rookie deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 4+1 on not having to really pay for a quarterback. So if you wanted to keep him, I'm so surprised he stayed. After writing a letter in the paper,
Yeah.
I don't think that was posturing. I think he really wanted to get out of there.
Yeah. He seems serious.
Yeah,
'cause
they
he was doing,
met
like,
him
the
with-
whole press tour during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They met him with, okay, you want to go, but how about 40 million?
Mhm.
Defensive tackle.
Mm.
You can get this one.
Oh, the Patriots just signed him. Why can't I think of his name right now? From the Eagles.
You know what? He may have eclipsed us. I screenshot this a week ago. Chris Jones was at 31 million, but he may have just.
Oh, no. He's at 27 or 28, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Then it's probably still Chris Jones.
Okay. Yeah.
Outside linebacker. And I'll give you a hint because you're probably not going to get it immediately, although you might. His name used to be the same name as somebody else, but he had to throw another name in there so he wouldn't get confused.
Mm. Jonathan Allen Hines.
Josh Hines.
Josh. That's
Hines.
what I
Yeah.
meant.
Yeah, Josh Hines Allen.
Yes, Josh Hines Allen.
Yeah,
One of those.
The other Josh Allen.
They were all in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, offensive tackle.
Dang.
Hmm.
Per year.
I would have guessed wrong because I would have went to Detroit. That'd have been where I'd have
Yeah,
put like
Penei
Sewell.
Sewell.
Right.
I would have
Penei
guessed Sewell. But it is not Sewell. It is
I'm Larry Tunzel.
Tristan Wirfs.
Wirfs, okay.
Oh, he's a stud.
Yeah, all three of those guys are.
Yeah.
The fact that they had to trade Tunzel, I was watching the conversation about having to trade Tunzel. They did not want to trade Tunzel, but they're going to have to pay all those guys.
Right.
The
Yeah. CJ's coming up. Yep.
Will Anderson's, all
Yep,
those guys. I'll give you a couple more. Running back,
Saquon.
$20 million.
Yeah.
So think about that. Saquon at $20 million, but Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase at over $35 million.
It's nuts.
Like the difference in running back and a wide receiver. Tight end.
Kelsey.
Yeah. There you go. You got one.
I was waiting.
You got one.
I'm like, how do you guys know offensive tackles? I'm like, I'm just trying to think of one.
Kicker.
Oh.
Is it-
Oh,
Is-
no
is it,
way.
the guy from Bucker?
Tucker?
Is it Bucker?
It's
Bucker.
Harrison Bucker.
Yeah.
What do you think he makes?
Ooh.
Highest paid kicker. And again, you're talking about Myles Garrett, $40 million, Dak Prescott, $60 million, Josh Hines Allen, outside linebacker for the Jags, $28 million, Wirfs at $28 million. What do you think Harrison Bucker, highest kicker?
80
$8
grand.
million.
I was going to go 10.
5.
$6.4 million.
6.4. All right.
You won't get this,
I mean,
but the highest paid punter. Do you know a single punter?
Tommy Townsend.
Yeah, that
Ryan Anger.
Yeah.
The highest paid punter is Michael Dixon for the Seattle Seahawks.
Hmm.
And his salary,
Lower than the kicker.
1.3.
$3.6 million.
Oh, good for
Wow.
him.
Hey,
Nice.
Okay.
Half that of a kicker.
He's a millionaire.
Being a punter, this is why it would suck. No one ever wants to see you.
right.
There is not a time, unless it is some wild fake punt crap where you have to throw the ball, and that's so rare. That's once every 4 years you get a shot. Being a punter, no one wants to see you. It's not like you like to see your defense on the field either, but at least you want to see your defense out there because your offense has scored. Even with defensive players, you want to see them because hopefully you're seeing them in the situation of your team just scored, so now you got to play defense. Not that you're punting and playing defense.
Right. You're giving them the ball.
The punting position, that sucks because no one ever wants to see you.
Yeah.
If you get in the game, that sucks.
Yeah.
Not for you because it is needed, but that sucks.
Yeah, the situation's
The
not
whole
good.
punter situation sucks.
But if you do land it like, near the end zone or it goes out at the 1, like you do get some butt slaps.
Okay,
I
cool.
see them when they come back like, good job, dude.
Yeah, good job at doing something we didn't want to have done anyway.
Right.
Yeah, there's never a time where the punter wants to be seen.
Yeah.
And that would be tough. That would be like tough for like my heart.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna go do a good job at nobody wants to see me.
Right, you got to live on those moments with a fake punt, right?
It's like I'm the greatest at what I do, except everybody hates seeing me see me do what I do.
You think they think that on the way to the stadium? On
I
Sundays?
would every day. I'd be like,
It's like being
everybody
a
hates
parking ticket meter cop or whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody
Or-
likes seeing
or
you.
a tow truck driver.
Or tow truck driver.
me. These guys are suing OnlyFans because they weren't exchanging DMs with actual models. 2 men from Illinois have lawyered up, take on OnlyFans. And I understand why this lawsuit's happening, but imagine you're one of these guys. You're now the loser that's in the news.
You're public.
You're going to make money probably, but now publicly you're the loser in the news, upset because you weren't DMing with the hot model. You're DMing with somebody
AI.
they had hired.
Yeah.
But there are some people that are cool with that. Like, they have no shame in, like, I mean, what, dude? I'm on OnlyFans, dude. I'm trying to DM a chick. Like, it better be a chick.
These people have to be like that.
I know.
Plaintiffs M. Brunner and Jay Fry claim to be former OnlyFans subscribers who grew disillusioned
Former.
when they realized they weren't really exchanging messages with the models they were subscribing to. Instead, the men allege the models hired agencies to impersonate the models and speak on their behalf.
That's messed up.
That's messed up.
You can't do that.
Wow.
Yeah, again, you're just a loser though. And I again, it's messed up. It's messed up. You can't do that. If like
No.
you're paying for a service, whatever it is, you don't want someone doing the service. If I hire a plumber to come out and I know I've heard that Jake is great, but Jake sends Jim and Jim just, I'm like, well, I hired Jake.
No, that's not good.
This is
Yeah.
not what I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
When you
But-
called those 1-800 numbers and the commercial girls, like, who were you talking to? Were you talking to one of those girls?
No. But they say on the screen,
How do you know?
because I used to watch those, they're not 800, they're 900.
Late at night?
They're 900.
They're 900.
Golly.
Get it right, Eddie.
Yeah, get it right. And there's only like 3 of those girls, and you're not calling to specifically talk to them. You're like, call 1-900 finesse me. Oh, we're just so hot and single. And then it never says you're talking specifically to Stephanie.
It doesn't say that. Yeah. You're
Where
right.
here you're subscribed to specific people, and you're talking with them supposedly, and then it's not even them. But also understand, like, if you're super rich and you're an OnlyFans model, of course that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Hire
You
an agency?
delegate.
Yeah.
You'd have people do the talking for you. In the suit, the men say they'd never have spent money on subscriptions, or at least as much, had they known they weren't speaking directly to the creators themselves. They also state in the suit that if OnlyFans had started demanding creators interact directly and outlaw hired agencies, they'd consider spending money on the platform again. So if they would consider that,
Okay.
make
Yeah.
They're like, we're not out.
Yeah, they'll come back. They'll come
We
back.
love your service.
I feel like they're just suing for like a free subscription now.
Oh my gosh.
Like that's the settlement. You know what? We're back in, but don't make us pay.
These dudes.
In one instance of disappointment, the legal paperwork shares what happened to the plaintiff, Fry. Fry says he created an account to, quote, engage in friendly conversations
Oh.
with models and share photographs of his cooking creations.
Right.
Is cooking creations a euphemism for penis?
It's gotta be.
I mean,
Yeah.
He became suspicious of who he was communicating with, however, when he started noticing contradicting information and errors in messages. Well, you can't go to India. Like if you're like a Florida OnlyFans model, you can't go and get a Swedish or an Indian to do it because their English isn't exactly the same.
Yeah.
Hope you have good congratulations. Wait, what? Like all those are English words, but they don't go together. Like that. Poor guys. 404.
Poor guys.
404
poor
media.
dudes.
They spend their money thinking they're talking to.
It sounds like a lot of money too. Whatever they spent.
It just sucks now that their name's out there, but they know it has to be out there. Maybe
I'm telling you, dude, they don't care. These dudes don't care.
I kind of felt the same I feel about them as I do the Packers. And I tell you why. The Packers had to be the team that went out and officially on record cried about the tush push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some team had to cry about the tush push. And, there's probably like a group text of like 13 coaches. And they're like, man, I don't want to be the one to have to whine about it officially. Okay, spin the wheel. Like somewhere a wheel was spun and it landed on the Packers.
Or did they tell them like, hey, you do it, dude. We'll back you up. And then
And
once
everybody else
they
backed
say,
him.
"Why say anything?"
Because like somebody had to formally complain about the tush push. And you look like the biggest wimps. You look like
Yeah.
these guys.
Yeah.
And again, the tush push to me, it's within the rules. It's fine. It's bad for television. I think eventually that's what ends up limiting it a bit.
Yeah.
Because it's not like people are getting injured from it. There are people that get injured from quarterback sneaks. Mahomes got hurt from one.
Yeah.
There are people that can't pull it off as good because they don't have the personnel to do it. It all starts with Jalen Hurts being able to squat 10 million pounds, right? Like
Yeah,
not every quarterback
exactly.
can do that. It's why Mark Andrews gets behind center when the Ravens do it, and because he can squat 10 million pounds. So every team can't do it. So the other teams that can't do it cry about the teams that can, which is basically just the Eagles, but it had to be the Packers. With the Pack. Anybody else have anything to say before we close out the meetings?
No.
Somebody.
Oh, yes, over there. Packer.
Hi. We want to touch push. Excuse me. We don't like the touch push. What? We don't like the touch
That's
push.
exactly how they said it too.
That's embarrassing. They're not even in their division.
No.
No.
I mean, if I remember correctly though, like when it first came out, they were like, a team is trying to ban the tush push. And then I think like a couple days later, or
Yeah.
maybe a day later, is like, I think it's the Packers.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that
statement.
long. Yeah, before you found out who the team
Yeah.
was. 'Cause I
I
think they were
only
like,
ever saw the Packers, so I never saw a team.
It came out saying just like a team is wanting to ban the tush push. And then it came out that it was the Packers.
You don't want to be that team.
No.
Nah.
So, but that's why I feel like they had to do like spin that wheel or some, because there are a lot of teams that don't want that to happen.
Yeah. But you don't want to be the team.
You
to
don't
say
want to
it.
be the team. You don't want to be these guys suing OnlyFans. There are probably like 30 of these dudes also in some kind of like chat room.
Yeah, what they're saying.
Who's going to
Oh
do
my
it?
gosh.
Who's going to do it? Okay. Build your 25 whistles parlay. You can jump in with us if you can. I bet on Auburn before the tournament. I had a dream. It was Auburn plus 2.5.
Right.
That's why I was saying if you do it. So let's go ahead and build it. I'm going to go first half spread, Auburn plus 1.5. So I'm going to go on that first half. Florida's really good. It's crazy that Auburn goes in as the number 1 overall seed, yet they have the worst. Now they have the worst odds of the 4.
Yeah, crazy.
But I'm going to go with the Auburn plus 1.5. And I'm going to go in one of Eddie's favorite bets, the Auburn race to 10 at
Let's
the beginning.
go, baby. I
Go.
love that bet. I mean, it's a crapshoot, but I love it.
especially when you're there. Remember when we did it when we
Yeah.
were watching, I think, the
Yeah.
Pacers game? Yeah.
So we're going to go first half, Auburn plus 1.5, Auburn race to 10, and that's at plus 105, so they're not the favorite to do so.
Okay.
And-
Dude, honestly, that one really doesn't matter. It's just whoever just makes their shots first.
And then over on the Houston and Duke side, Houston's so good defensively. Like they did to Tennessee what Tennessee did to everybody all year. They made Tennessee look like they weren't Tennessee. Tennessee couldn't get a 3 up.
Yeah.
I mean, Houston smothered them the way Tennessee had done at SEC schools all year.
They tried to move the ball, but every time it was moved, somebody was there.
So I'm going to go Duke minus 5.5. So those are my 3. I still don't think Houston can win it because they're Houston. There's no real reason. There's no logic. Houston just doesn't. Houston can't.
It's Houston, man.
Yeah, not since, back in the day when it was like Clyde Drexler, Olajuwon,
Yeah.
when they actually played for Houston.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to go. That's my 3. That's the parlay. No, I suck at this.
Can I ask you a question
Yeah.
about your Auburn pick?
Yeah.
Does the +1 make you feel better? Or would you just that's just 1 point? Or would you just, for a little more money, do that money line?
So I'm glad you asked me this. It's not that it makes me feel better, but it keeps me from wanting to punch myself in the face when it doesn't hit. And it's so little that it's not worth taking it away because I'm not going to make that much more for the amount I'm going to hate myself if I don't take the 1.5.
I know exactly what you're talking
That's
about.
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah, so you could make a little more money, but to me, that risk isn't worth it to go money line because if it does and Auburn doesn't quite go plus, let's
They
say,
lose by 1 point.
Yeah.
And you're just like, mother.
it's like, why didn't I do the point?
Yep.
Right.
If it was like +7, +6, like a different situation because the value is, but no, not for me because I don't want to hate myself.
Every time I see that +1, I'm like, come on, man, it's 1 point. Like, it's not going to be a 1 point game. Come on, let's go money line.
1 point's weird. It's always the 1.5 or the half because
Yeah.
The half.
The half
Yeah.
points. Yep.
bet the unexpected with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code BobbySports. That's code BobbySports for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Update on the money. So we picked an underdog team for $5. Eddie had A&M gone and lost their coach. Here's my Buzz Williams story.
Do I lose more money for that?
Yeah. So Buzz Williams went to Maryland.
Buzz.
He was coaching at Texas A&M. He wore the student stuff
A little vest.
and the vest on. So they played Arkansas once, and I went to that game. I don't even remember who won, but he comes up to me at the end of the game. Buzz Williams does.
Buzz did?
Yes, because I was on the court, and this is like after they'd gone to the locker room and he was back out, and most people were gone. I think I was just like shooting, and so he was like, "Hey, would you mind taking a picture with my kids? They're big fans." And I was like, "Cool." So took a picture. What up, Buzz? Whatever. Then I reached out to him again because he was coming to Nashville, and I was like, "Hey, man, you coming to Nashville?" Whatever. He just like ignored everything I ever sent him, and then asked him to come. He just ignored me for like 2 years.
Oh, come on,
He just
Buzz.
left you on red?
Yeah,
Did he even read it?
yes, but then I thought maybe it was somebody on his team at Twitter.
Yeah.
But then I would like reach out through his people for like interview stuff, and like
Wow.
I got no's every time, and I was like, "You came up to me."
I took a picture with your kids,
You
man.
came up and were like, "Hey, my kids are fans. Will you take a picture?" Because I would have never been chasing Buzz.
Yeah, that is weird.
Who gives a crap? But I thought we have this relationship now. It'd be fun to get him on.
Yeah.
Never. Oh, Maryland sucks just because of that.
Strange. Is he
Yeah.
little? He looks little.
I don't know. The vest makes anybody look little unless you're like tall and
vest.
And the
muscular.
buzz cut.
Yeah. I don't know his height.
Okay.
I felt like
5'11".
it was pretty average. What do you say?
5'11".
Okay, so
That's
pretty
average.
Yeah.
I mean, tall is shorter than us, but average.
Yeah. So Eddie doesn't win. Gonzaga Reed doesn't win. Mike had North Carolina out. Casey had Louisville out. So our underdog picks at Arizona. No, Kevin at Arizona had Michigan. They went out the same spot, Sweet 16.
Y'all split?
So we flip a coin.
Yep.
But we're gonna need everybody else's $5.
Yeah. I got you.
So
You got cash?
I think so.
it's $30 in total.
Oh, come
$5.
on.
So we're gonna flip for it?
Yeah.
Do you want the Buffalo nickel?
Yeah, you want to flip? We'll do 2 out of
Sure.
Let's do 13 out of 27.
All right.
Let's really extend it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will do 2 out of 3.
Okay.
You good with that?
Yeah.
You can call the first one.
Okay.
Gentlemen,
Yep. Let me see it.
this is your heads.
I know what a freaking head looks like.
What does it look like? Oh, I like, yeah.
Buffalo
Oh, the Buffalo Roam.
No, I just said Kevin gets to call the first one. And let it land. Let it land. All right, go Kevin.
Buffalo!
Heads.
Heads.
Oh!
All right, one down.
Am I calling again?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
He's gonna call it.
Don't fail me now. Buffalo!
Heads.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I suck at all
So
these
everybody
games.
has to give me their $5.
Okay.
So that's 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 20.
There you go,
And we got change for a 20 over there?
Thank you. Eddie gave me his 5. You don't have to give it to me right this second, but I appreciate it before we left.
Hey, dude, I'll forget.
You can also just Venmo me $5.
That's probably what we're going to go with.
Yeah, it's the move.
I should probably keep that $5 bill then.
Okay. And the main team with $10 each. Casey had St. John's. They're out. Rest in peace.
See ya.
In peace.
All the rest of us are in.
Yeah.
Kevin and Eddie had Duke. Got to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, we got to split that one.
Reed has Florida, and Mike and I have Auburn. So at least one of us will be eliminated before Monday because Auburn and Florida play each other.
Correct.
Yeah. So okay. Well, that money's still there, but I made $25.
Dang, dude. Didn't even get.
Don't hate that. Kevin said he ran into the lawyer we talked to at his gym.
Yes.
The pickleball lawyer that was going to set up the escrow. So did he recognize you? Because I don't know if we knew what he looked like.
I had no idea. He recognized me. I was at the gym on this past weekend, and he came up after the workout. I was sitting there stretching. He's like, "Hey, are you Kickoff Kevin?" And I was like, yeah, what's up, man?" And he's like, "I'm Brooks. I'm the lawyer that you guys have been talking to." I was like, "What? Really? I didn't even know you lived here."
He's like a celebrity.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I live down the street over here. I've seen you here a couple times, but after I got on the show, then I wanted to say something." And we started talking about the guy, the Twitter troll, and all that. And he's like, "Yeah, it's just I'm interested. Like, you guys are awesome, blah blah blah." And so it was just small world. I had no idea he even lived here.
Yeah, big shout out.
Yeah.
And so I gave Kevin, and I don't know the update to this, but I gave Kevin the Twitter trolls username to go and message him to say, "Hey, let's set this up. Play for $1,000." The guy is, from what I know, a 4-year Division I athlete. I think he's a wrestling coach. I know he's training for Ironmans. So for sure an athlete. Kind of sucks. That's the troll I go after. Of all the trolls that I can go after, a troll's a troll, but of all the trolls, that has to be it. And so I said, "Here's his name. So message him up." And because we got the lawyer, we've got, I'm ready. I'm physically ready. So let's get it going. So what has happened since I gave you his name?
So I reached out on Twitter. I couldn't DM him. We talked about that a little bit last week because I wasn't following him. He wasn't following me for whatever reason. I couldn't DM him. So I started following him. And then I commented on the post and was like, "Hey, blah, blah, blah. Follow me back. I'd like to reach out so we can set something up here." And that was last weekend. And ever since then, I have heard absolutely nothing.
Oh, he's running.
So he's scared.
Whoa.
Nothing.
I'm surprised by that. He was so secure.
You think it's the lawyers maybe scaring him a little bit? That how official this is?
Well, that's only so no one gets scammed.
I understand, but maybe he's just like, "Oh, whoa, this is too much. This is too official." Maybe it's like he just wanted to threaten you a little bit and play a game.
So do you think he's seen yours?
I mean, I went on his Twitter. It's not like he's so active on Twitter and he would go past, he had to have.
Oh, what a terrible
Because he was going
payoff
back
on
and
this.
forth. So
Even me going and losing is a better payoff than it not happening.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so disappointed if this guy totally... So
Is this our only way of communicating with him?
it's the only way he's ever talked to me on Twitter. He's like,
I tried to look him up on Instagram too.
find him?
No. Because all I have is his Twitter name. And then you try to search that on Instagram. I don't know. And
This is no good.
I know.
Reed, do you have a Twitter?
Yes, I don't use it very much, but I do got one.
So then, Kevin, if you don't mind, message him again. And Reed also message him.
Hit him with that double.
Well, yeah, just be like, "Hey, we're trying to get a hold of you to set this pickleball match up."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we're,
let's
we're,
go.
we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then report back next week.
All right. Does he work at a school? You just contact the school,
You contact
No,
the
you
boss?
literally could. No,
The
it's not.
principal?
You literally could find. I don't know. I don't know where he coaches. Like if you go to his page, it's showing like wrestling trophies or something. Like get a
Yeah,
hold
that's
of
what I
him.
was
There's
thinking.
nothing illegal about trying to get a hold
No,
of somebody.
It just feels like bookie-ish a little bit. Like,
No, he doesn't owe anything.
Yeah.
But if he's gonna talk when we're just trying to get in touch,
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You just leave a message at the school.
Hey, Principal Jackson, we're just trying to get a hold of the wrestling coach.
Yeah. Some guy from Twitter says,
He's challenged us to a duel.
That's funny.
so report back Monday
All right.
on whatever activity. Has he tweeted at all on his own page since then, though? Because maybe he hasn't got on Twitter at all, so therefore he hasn't seen your tweet.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm checking right now.
He has, as of March 20th, I see something in the thread.
Dang, he's running.
Yeah, so he got spooked.
Wait, as of March, but today, when this comes out, it's April 4th.
And when did that message?
Yeah, when did Kevin post a message?
Saturday, Sunday.
Oh no, that's way past
Calendar.
Oh,
And
that
then, Mike,
was
when was
March
it-
30th.
When was his last tweet, Mike?
Of all,
Yeah.
March 20th is what I'm seeing.
Even on the replies, if you hit replies on
Yeah,
his
I'm
page?
on replies. Look like the last one was March 20th.
And I was March 30th.
A troll is usually on Twitter more than...
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, just message him again a couple times. Let's see
Okay.
what's up. See
Hope
if we
he's
can get
okay.
him.
Yeah, I wish I could do that old like Facebook thing where we could poke him.
We get concerned for him.
that. Yeah, man.
Oh my God, what's happened
hope
to
he's
him?
all right.
We don't even know his name. I'm worried. They're doing the virtual chain gang. If you guys saw that, the rules committee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy.
The guys
about
will
that.
still be there, I guess, in case it breaks. But they have that technology they use in tennis. They use it in any other sport. They use it in, like soccer. They use it. I don't know with like the Euro sports. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know tennis. That's the
But-
one that I always
I
go
think
to.
soccer too.
Yeah, surely that Eagle Eye or whatever they call it. But yeah, no, they're getting. I think it's great.
Finally, right?
I think
Yeah.
precision, you can't argue with correct precision, and it's going to be precise. And I'll be curious, is it going to be on the tips of each ball? Because I don't think they've gotten so
Right.
in the weeds, like molecular.
Yeah,
with
like that whole
where
Josh
it's going
Allen
to be.
play that
Holy
they
crap.
probably changed it for.
Will it?
Yeah.
Will it be just the tip where it is?
Right. Good question.
You know, the middle, because that matters.
Yeah.
Like the ball matters.
So is this the
Every
one
inch.
where when they do the replay, everyone goes, oh, duh, 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 and then they show the line on the.
Oh, in tennis, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
This could be really fun in football.
Yeah, yeah. Also, like, you know, those old guys running around. Sometimes they get hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they
You
do.
know, just more people on the side.
Yeah.
Let's clear the sidelines. What I say. Okay, so the guy is not okay. He's not tweeting. I look too. Nothing.
Nothing.
What if the guy died?
I hope not, man.
We call the school. I don't know how to tell you guys this.
It's pickleball match.
See if someone-
It's not funny. It's not funny.
The NFL's planning a Christmas Day triple-header this year. Man, I'm telling you, NBA, this sucks for them. Because Christmas was NBA Day.
It was.
Yeah.
That was the day. That was their only day, really,
Yeah.
other than the finals.
This sucks. Adam Schefter's the one who tweeted it. But yeah, LeBron last year said Christmas is our day as far as talking about games.
Okay. That's
And they had a
that's
doubleheader
Jesus'
last
day, but
year.
yeah.
But no, tripleheader this year. The NFL is upping their quest for Christmas Day dominance, with Schefter reporting that 3 are scheduled. 2 will be shown on Netflix and 1 on Amazon.
Did you like football on Christmas?
I like football at any time.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't matter. I mean, I didn't.
It felt weird. There was a little too much football for me during Christmas, because Christmas is the one time where the family's like, we're all together, like let's all hang out, and then like we're like, but the game's
But you know
on.
what you can do? Not watch it.
No,
Mm-mm.
if football's on,
That's what I'm saying. You
we're
can,
watching it.
you can not watch it and then feel like the old times.
Because like everyone was like, whoa, you're watching football? Like we're all having dinner. I'm like, yeah, the game's on.
I feel like those holidays, you need something that everybody can kind of have on. And even if you're like a super casual, you can still sit and watch the game. It's almost like the parade on Thanksgiving.
Right.
That's
Nice
football now. Because NBA, that wasn't happening. NBA isn't big enough for there to be super casual. Aunt Judy is not going to be able to watch the Heat and Celtics. And you go, man, I can't believe so they traded Jimmy Butler. How Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra's a great
that's
coach.
not going to happen, right? Did you know I used to do film for my? But in the NFL, because it is so big, you can pretty much be a super casual.
And fantasy is just
Yeah. And much like the Thanksgiving Day
I
parade.
did feel a little oversaturated last year, though,
I did.
with football.
Me too.
Because it was like Saturdays, and then now they got Fridays.
It was
and
a
then-
little much.
especially that week, right? Because it was like Wednesday and then Thursday night. I think they
Yeah.
also had a Black Friday game.
I didn't realize you guys were so lame. That's,
No,
that's hilarious.
it does sound lame. I agree with you, but I just do remember feeling like a little too much pressure. Like there's a game going on. What am I doing here?
It's like getting down to the fantasy playoffs, so you got to get into it. You know, you might do a little parlay here or there, so you got to get into it.
Right.
Yeah. I've lost respect for all of you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. As far as the competition committee, and we talked about no more line judges. There's the tush push. The other thing basically was they're going to take the 30 and now it's a 35, where if you kick it out of bounds on the kickoff, it's going to go 35-yard line,
Okay.
which hopefully will keep that from happening.
hmm
Eventually, they're going to putting it at midfield
I mean, yeah,
That's
because
right, yeah.
they still kick it out.
because they just want people to return kicks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like they don't want that to be wasted, which is why they eliminated the current, well, until this last year, the kickoff rule, because that was never a play. It was just kick it out of the back of the end zone, go to commercial.
Yep.
Sometimes come back, just do the kickoff, go to commercial.
yeah.
And so it was much ado about
Yeah.
nothing, where at least now, if it is that commercial, come back, at least you see a return before you go back to commercial.
Mhm.
They just do not want that to keep happening where nobody returns. So they're going to go to the 35-yard line.
Stupid question.
Mhm.
Are they that good to
Yes.
land it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I know that they're good with the left and right, like they have to for field goals, but are they good with distance control?
Mhm.
I don't know.
No, the answer is yes.
Okay.
And you can practice all the time.
Yeah.
And it's the field goal kickers who are often the kickoff specialists, and so they know a 25-yard kick, what kind of height they need to put on it.
Oh, I thought they just swing the same every time.
Do that with a golf club.
Not like anything under 80 yards, but anything over, yeah, same kind of swing.
Every time.
Yeah.
Well, so this would be like a pitch though, because again you're
Right.
kicking it shorter and higher. So
Like a driver, could you Could you hit your driver?
But they're not driving it.
Ooh,
because
see,
driving
I
it
think
is
the
what
kickoff would be the driver.
Driving is what got them in trouble. That's why they had to change the rule because they were driving it every time. Where now they're having to hit a strong pitching wedge.
You're probably right. I just didn't know that because I would have thought that they would have tried to hit the target a little more last season, and they didn't. There were a lot of balls going out.
Yeah.
Who wins? 4 teams. Who wins? Duke's big favorite.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go Duke and Auburn.
They both can't win.
Who wins the whole thing, Kevin?
Oh, the whole thing. I thought you were talking about just the Final Four. I'm gonna go Duke. We're riding Duke the whole way. Let's keep going.
Yeah, Duke looks really good.
I don't think you can. Yeah, you have to go Duke.
The reason I don't pick Duke is because everybody's picking Duke,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's probably why I'm gonna lose money.
Who's yours?
Well, I bet $1,000 on Auburn before the tournament started. Get this bull crap. I've never heard of this before in my history of betting. I put $1,000 on Auburn before the tournament at like plus 400. Going into just the Final Four, they're plus 450.
Yeah, that's
I would've-
bizarre.
If I would have held the $1,000 and only bet if they got to the Final Four, I would have made more money.
Hey,
That's
I've
bizarre.
never heard of that.
that's got to be a first.
That's like pre-ordering something and then it'd be like way cheaper if you buy it like day
The
of.
day
Right.
of. But at least pre-order, you knew that you would have it, right? On
Yeah.
a pre-order, it's like you pre-order in case they run out, you don't get one. If Auburn runs out, I don't have to bet them at all.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
I've never seen anything like it. It's because Duke and Florida look so good
Yeah.
that they have swayed the odds so much into their favor that it has affected Auburn. And I hope my boys take it personally.
Yeah.
Auburn lost to Florida this year.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn lost. Auburn's played all 3 of those teams. They lost to Duke and they beat. No. They lost to Houston and beat Duke, I think. Right?
Am I checking?
Because I think they beat Houston because wasn't that the game they got in the fight on the plane and then they.
Early in the season.
Auburn?
Early.
Yeah. I'm going like back through memory, so you guys could probably correct me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's when they got into the fight on the private plane, had to turn it around. They were going to play Houston and they won the game.
I do remember that.
Are you- is that
Houston?
That's
Nope. Never mind.
And Houston's only lost like 1 game in regulation. Like the games they've lost have been like in overtime.
Yeah.
The very few they've lost.
Yeah, Auburn beat Houston back in November.
They had turned the plane around like there's a fist fight on the plane, which is crazy. And so they beat them.
And Duke beat them.
And yeah, so they've lost to 2 of them and they've beat Houston. Let's go. Let's go Auburn.
I know your money's there, but do you think the championship would be Florida, Duke?
I think Florida's guards are so big. Florida's so good. If you were to say right now,
You got to go Florida, Duke.
I think Florida can beat Duke
Oof.
as well. But I'm going Auburn, man.
Got to ride with Auburn.
Hey,
yeah.
if we're right, I got my money there. I'm not saying anything
know,
that
I
I think
know.
might shift anything. So it's funny too. The further you get, much different than other sports. With the NCAA tournament, more people care about the first 2 rounds. Like really, there aren't a lot of people that care about the Final Four. Like you got to be a diehard college basketball fan to actually care.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they like big brands to be involved because there are more actual fans of the big brands. Everybody watches those first 2 days because you want to see upsets and schools.
Yep.
But it's the only sport I can think of the closer you get to actually crowning a champion, Gen Pop actually cares less.
Especially with all them being number 1 seeds too. I just feel like that's just added on top.
We're just at the Final Four, and most even like sports shows that are on where you get rated, they don't even lead with it because they know it's not. They'll still talk Cowboys or Lakers
Yeah.
but it's the only sport I can think of because NFL playoffs, Super Bowl, hype, bigger, talk more, everything, baseball, and really nobody cares about baseball. A little more now than ever before, but when it gets to the playoffs and World Series, more. NBA playoffs, finals, college basketball, kind of the opposite.
Dies down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I will say though, I think we're going to see the best games
Yeah.
now.
That's
Yeah,
great.
quality.
All 11
From
of
the
us,
whole tournament.
all 11 of us watching will watch.
Because the games have not been great. Like
Yeah.
we've been disappointed with a lot of these games in the tournament, and I think now we're going to see some really good basketball, and I can't wait.
Yeah, you hope so.
Me and 11 of us.
And there'll be people to watch, but it's just a weird thing that people care. Gen Pop cares less the further you get in the tournament. All right, one more break. Caitlin Clark card sold for $366,000.
Ah,
That's a record for a woman's sports card. A rookie card featuring her signature sold for $366, including the buyer's premium at Golden Auctions on Saturday, March 29th. It's the most a women's sports card has ever sold for, beating a 2003 Net Pro Serena Williams RPA, which is a rookie patch autograph that sold for $266,000.
Wow.
This 2024, the Caitlin Clark, features a single copy print run, superb blue ink signature, and dazzling gold vinyl prism visual effect. On the same day, a LeBron card sold for $1.159 million. Man, that's just risky. I saw a guy that bought a Patrick Mahomes rookie, and he spent like, I'm just gonna make up a number, like $400,000, and then he sold it again like 6 weeks later, and it was before the Super Bowl, so he was trying to capitalize on the fact that it might, and he lost like 80 grand on it.
Oof.
Like the market's pretty
risky,
volatile anyway, especially that quick, and even because it's up and down like stocks. Players playing well.
Yep.
So I, like him, though, would have thought I'm going to make some money off of this card. And he did not.
What do you have, Caitlin Clark? You got a rookie
Yeah.
card?
I don't have any of her WNBA cards. I have a bunch of her playing
Iowa.
for Iowa. Yeah.
You have any signatures?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was on a hunt for a long time. I've just hit a couple of them in packs.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I've sold on eBay because Reed, my head of digital, will run the cards because we would do content on them. Like we would go and buy. Remember the time Reed put the one up that had
Yeah,
the
I
sticker?
left a sticker on it.
What
on
you bought it
accident.
at?
Yes.
Yeah.
I found it because I bought it for like $500 and I was like, I can flip this right now. And so I said, Reed,
Yeah, that's my bad.
I was like, hey, take a picture of this card and post it. And we'll sell it right now because I wanted to do content to show how much I can make for it. And Reed puts it up and there's still the sticker for what I bought it on.
Stupid.
And I was like, no, you're missing the point, Reed. We want them to value it at something. And I ended up making like $300
Yeah, no, it did well.
off of
for
like
sure.
a same day flip. But yeah, I've got 5 or 6 like Iowa signed Caitlin Clark cards. I don't think anything worth more than a couple $1,000 at most for one of them. I don't have anything that's crazy like that because I haven't pursued anything crazy like that. But I do have a couple of cards, my best cards at the safe at the bank.
Nice. Like a security deposit box?
Yes, exactly
I've heard that in
what
the
it is.
movies. I don't know.
That's exactly what it is.
Wow.
It's cool.
Because if like a tornado hits and there were like tornado, I don't want it to be blown. So someone's like, look what I found. I found a Caitlin Clark.
Do you ever go check on it?
At the bank? No.
You walk in there like, Mr. Bones?
Yeah, I'd like to see my
Oh
card,
my
please.
gosh.
Caitlin
Would you
Clark.
please bring it up? Bring in security box 37209.
It's got to go through all these vaults.
Yes. That's it. All right. I think we're done for the day. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
No, I was mostly talking to the listeners.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Them
Yeah.
too.
If you guys don't mind subscribing, if you're listening on the Bobby Bone Show feed, please hit subscribe. Go to 25 Whistles and subscribe. That'd be super cool if you did that. It would help us so much. What?
I had me on the camera for some reason while you were doing all this. I looked over like, oh, it's me. I didn't even say anything. I just reacted, and you said, what? I'm sorry I distracted
You
you.
jumped out of your chair.
'Cause I was
Like, oh,
surprised
it's
to just
me.
see
Look at that.
You know,
just sitting
sometimes
there.
when you turn your camera on and it's your own face real close.
That's
it's like,
exactly
oh,
what it was.
dang.
Got like
That's
the double
what this
chin.
was.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. All right. So, yeah, if you don't mind, go subscribe. That would help us a ton. Thank you for listening. And let's go Auburn. Let's go Coach Pearl. And if you're not rooting for Auburn and Coach Pearl, then you never loved him to begin with. And we spent some good time with him. So, and you Duke player. You Duke guy?
Yeah, well, no,
Yeah.
just for this year.
Yeah,
Just because I
yeah.
picked him.
It sucks, huh?
But no, for this weekend, though, let's go. Bruce Pearl. Let's go, baby.
This weekend, this is all of it.
I think they play Monday, right?
Yeah, but that counts.
Oh.
So you're saying you're rooting for them against Florida, but not against
Absolutely. I
Duke.
want them to beat Florida. Who wants Florida to win?
Hey, I do.
But you're not.
'Cause you picked them. Yeah, okay.
All right, that's it. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you next time. All right, blow us out. All right, bye, buddy.